Hey, what's up? It's Rick Dees in the morning. Right now, Vendog.
3, 2, 1.
Access granted.
Vendog Radio Live starts right now.
Wow! Happy 4th of July Eve. I decided to wear this hat, but I think I'm going to wear my regular hat, but it does have the American flag on it. It's kind of cool, but I think I'm just going to switch over to my regular hat. Let's see. Let's do this. Okay. All right. That's better. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being here. It is another edition of Vendog Radio Live. It is a special edition, of course, and I am so glad that you are here. Thank you so much for being here. 4th of July Eve. We're going to have a special treat for you at the end, and also we are going to look at a little bit of history of America. And we're going to, have some Bible verses, comparisons, and all this other good stuff. And by the way, I have to let you guys know that Brother Dean is in the house. He's going to be in today. Yes, indeed. It's going to be awesome. Wow. So I just want to let you know that he's going to be in the house. And as you can tell, the Declaration of Independence is in the background. We're going to have a read from Mr. JFK himself of the Declaration of Independence. We're also going to talk about the history of the church in America with Lemuel Haynes. We're going to talk about how, just to say some good things. But first, let's get this out of the way. So the mayor of New York City, Zohran Mamdani, had the audacity to sit behind the desk of George Washington. Talk about disrespecting America with poo-poo. Look at this.
Sit behind George Washington at City Hall as I sit behind George Washington's desk, alongside new Americans who came to this country. I cannot see all of America, but like so many who came before, I can see New York City. The city I see today looks very different than the one that greeted George Washington. In July.
Yeah, the city today is a load of garbage, big time. I mean, let's just say it how it is. It's terrifying what's happened to New York City. Just terrible. Just terrible. Zohran Mamdani destroyed New York City in a handbasket. Well, coming up after the break, Brother Dean is going to join us. Yes, as you know, Brother Dean did serve our country in the military. So it is kind of perfect that he's here today. And I'm glad that he's here. And I thank God for our military, the men and women who served our great country, even though it is going right down the chute. And tomorrow it's going to be 250 years old. And I know my Canadian friends just celebrated Boxer Day on July 1st. What in the world is Boxer Day? That's what I want to know. Are you guys celebrating dogs? The boxer, the breed, or what is that? Is that Canada's form of independence? All right, enough of that. We'll be right back with more Vendog Radio Live after this.
Follow us on all of the socials at Vendog Radio. We'll be right back with more Vendog Radio Live after this.
Yes, sir!
Because you have kept my command to persevere, I also will keep you from the hour of trial which shall come upon the whole world, to test those who dwell on the earth. Revelation 3:10. We will be rescued, but what can we do to help the people left behind? What you leave behind matters. The emergency guide is a lifeline for those who will be left behind. It is a guide to salvation meant to replace us and be a companion to the Bible. It's a long way from Genesis to John. The emergency guide was prayerfully created as a labor of love by Calvary Solid Ground. CalvarySolidGround.com/emergency guide. Order a copy or download and print your own. Also check out our Ready or Not tract, available to print, and it's digital, so scan the QR code and please share it today.
Nevin,
Just like Nevin. Yes, Nevin sunglasses are the best, guys. Nevin Eyewear just sent me these. These are the Steel Blue. Buy some glasses, man. You can buy one and get two free with a special gift. Nevin. Oh yeah, look at my thermometer.
Going to the merch store is another way to support the Vindog Radio Network. VindogRadio.myspreadshop.com. That's VindogRadio.myspreadshop.com. Thank you for your support in advance, and may God bless you. If you felt led to support the broadcast, there are 3 ways that you can help: Cash App, Venmo, or PayPal at Vindog Radio. Thank you for your support, and God bless.
Will you look me in the eye?
Can you look me in the eye and tell me that I shouldn't be alive?
Can you tell me that I didn't deserve to survive?
One reality binds us together.
One event we all share.
One choice tried to steal our lives.
But we survived.
We are the survivors of choice.
We are the faces of choice.
I am the face of choice.
I am that choice.
Access granted.
Now, back to the man on a mission for the King of Glory, Jesus Christ. Vindog Radio.
Hey, welcome back to Vindog Radio Live. We are going to also be on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcast, Amazon Music, TuneIn Radio, and wherever you shall download broadcast and podcast. Let's bring in my broski. That's it. I'm telling you, Brother Dean. What's up, man?
Hey, how you doing? It's good to see you. How's everybody out there doing?
Woohoo! I didn't know what Boxer Day was in Canada. I just know that people celebrate that. It's just.
I think it has something to do with shorts, boxer shorts.
Does it? It has something to do with shorts?
No,
yeah.
Actually, Laurie Sanders said it is their Canada's birthday, but
Canadian birthday. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Canada's birthday.
Oh, okay.
So,
Canada. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. July 1st is Boxer. I have in-laws that are in Canada. Cousin Eddie and his family, they're all over there in Canada. He watches on Getter because sometimes I guess they get censored from my YouTube channel because of all the crazy stuff I put out there, but it's kind of weird.
See, when you said Cousin Eddie, I was thinking, Clark in Christmas Vacation and all that. So
yeah.
I didn't know if you were being serious or not.
No, it's my wife's cousin.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm sorry, Cousin Eddie. I didn't mean anything.
He's the only one. I know a couple of other people, but they're kind of liberals. So, we don't even talk. I don't even mention their names because they don't even watch the show.
Yeah.
Oh man, boy, I'm getting things started off, man. I'm probably gonna start roughing shopping the family. It's gonna be crazy. Just leave it up to me to start a family quarrel right before the 4th of July.
We can do that on any holiday. Why not the 4th?
Yeah. Why not? It's going to be a lot of fireworks anyway, right?
We fought for the right to insult our family members. Wait. Or something like that.
Yeah. Oh, man. Dude, we are celebrating 250 years tomorrow. Let me ask you this. Do you think this is going to be the last 4th of July?
Wow. That's a loaded question. Do I think, first of all, I'm not real sure about that. It has not been confirmed medically by doctors or professionals that I actually think. The question is really, truly a loaded question. I think we will have more, but really the honest answer is I don't know. The way things are going, who knows what's going to happen? I mean, we either got, inside attacks, political fallout.
Right.
We have the potential of so many different things. The rapture happening would be, perfect. But regardless of whether we're here as a full-fledged superpower or whatever, I think we'll have a few more, but to what that means exactly, who knows? I personally, I'd like to think that we would have, a few more years to go before, and we would survive that. But I really don't have a lot of confidence in anything but the rapture at this point. So
yeah, same here. I've been thinking about that, and then hearing all this stuff about fuel shortages that could be coming up, man, that's nuts.
Yeah, Well, we've been hearing this since the Biden administration. People have been talking about when he raided or I forget what exactly he did, but the reserves were quite low because of the oil policies that were
brain dead Biden.
Yeah. So hey, I want to shout out to Gwen and Lori and Pookie and Arrow Whisper. That Daniel's out there as well. So yeah, just hey everybody.
Yeah. Thanks for popping in, guys. You know, on such short notice too.
Yeah, and for everybody out there that's not in chat, that's fine. We're glad that you're watching. So
did you have any Piscotti? I know you had the Piscotti, right?
What's a spaghetti?
I don't know. Piscotti?
Oh, you mean biscotti? Biscotti?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you have
wait, do you say potatoes or potatoes? I'm teasing you, of course.
I say potato.
You say potato. Okay, well,
potatoes.
Yeah. I don't have any. No. Hey, don't call me a Deanie Meanie. That's just rude.
Hey, that's how we work around here. Don't worry.
I'm kidding. It's okay. Biscotti, they're all gone, Vindog. That batch did not last. The last batch did not last.
I know. I heard your wife laughing at me in the background earlier when you talked about it.
Well, I mean, she wasn't laughing at you. She was laughing with something else. I mean, when you open the door to trouble, what do you expect?
I know, right? Hey, it comes our way, whether we want it or not.
Yeah, we just do it to ourselves. But yeah, I mean, I didn't show you any of the pictures because they were a little more done. They were for everything that you do when you cook, and of course, anybody out there that cooks understands this. That things like humidity, heat. Effects of preparation and all that. I
love my food well done though.
Well, I like burnt toast. I like to a certain extent too. And I like cookies that are a little bit done like that as well. But they were really good. I mean, there's just no question. That's why
just keep bragging about that, bro.
Yeah. Hey, I'm sorry. No, I'm not making excuses. They were great. But I had the impression that I would not be appreciated if I showed pictures of them this time.
I know. I'm surprised you didn't send me any pictures because I would have put them up online. Like, look, this guy had some Piscotti, and I didn't have anything.
Biscotti.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Oh, well, actually, I do have a picture, but you won't get to keep it. This was the picture. Y'all can see this pretty good. There they are.
Oh.
And I had some espresso with it, of course. Oh, and look at that! How appropriate for today. This was not today though, but I did. We actually have these plates in our cupboards. We have a set of them that we've had for a long time. I believe those were from Poland, so it's Polish pottery. I think I'm pretty sure. But anyway, that's a really good picture, actually. And they're a little darker, so it's you might not know if you didn't know they were.
You've been to Krakow, Poland, then, huh?
I don't know that we actually went to Krakow, but we went to a couple places. We didn't go there much. Interesting stories, but yeah. So
wow.
That's right, Gwen Stone. You thought my Pastor Meanie Pants PMP when I changed it over to PMP. You thought it meant pimp. I remember that.
That's funny. She really thought that?
Yep. She was a little concerned.
She goes, Dean, I'm really concerned about you right now.
Yeah, I'm still Pastor Meanie Pants. I just don't use that name because not Gwen, some other folks made comments about it. So I'm like, okay, well, let's see what comments will you make about this? But yeah, that's my side job, Laura. You're right.
That's his weekend job for money.
I wish. We're going to spend the whole time talking with Chat Vindog. You had a plan, and that plan has been destroyed.
It has been
fog
derailed.
of war.
My plan has been derailed.
I'm sorry, brother. It's good though. I love the interaction with folks in the chat. So and we'll still get to the stories. We'll still talk about the 4th of July.
Yeah, we got to derail for a little bit here.
But I'm sure everybody out there understands that countries that are democracies, and we're not a democracy, by the way.
Yeah, let's get that straight.
We are a republic,
constitutional republic
with democratic ideals embedded in them.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So, but even people like Miss Hillary Clinton, who's still talking about her craziness, thinks that that she lost the election with the popular vote, and that's wrong, and we need to get rid of the Electoral College. Well, ladies and gentlemen, one of the reasons we have the Electoral College is so that cities, states, almost, like LA or New York or Chicago or Miami or Dallas or Houston or whatever, you pick the city, right, cannot manipulate the vote by virtue of its size, and everybody else is pretty much, because what would happen is you'd have about 7 to maybe 11 centers of population who would dominate the vote. Nobody else would ever have a say. There would be no adjusting it to compensate for the difference in populations and the differences in states and so forth. That's the purpose of the Electoral College, is to offset that unfair control. But because she lost, we're not, again, a democratic country. Look, in a democratic country, you can vote yourself into communism.
Yeah, just look around.
Now, that's not supposed to happen in this republic, and it's set up so it was set up so that would not happen. But since we have a society who has fallen away from God and from morals and all principles and the Constitution and our rule of law, our values and our background, we have walked away from that. We have, I can't think of the right word, we've subverted the actual rule of law, the things that were put in place. We have a republic if we can keep it. And it really comes down to, if a society is not based on morals and values that are come from God, then you lose the basis for following any rules, and it becomes mob rule. And mob rule, then people start whining and crying instead of being active and doing their part. They start whining and crying about somebody needs to come and save us. Then somebody comes in and you get communism, and the next thing you know, everybody's in the gulag. So, find a country, name a country that's lasted as long as we have. I'm not talking about in the entire history of the world. As a republic, democracy that's lasted this long. They don't. We're at the point.
We're at the tipping point.
We are at the point where this is either going to fall completely apart because of people, like I noticed in the chat, and it's absolutely true. That video is a valid video, and there's stories out there to back it up of him, what Mondami talked about and what he said, and just absolutely ludicrous that we could be in this position. That you have somebody saying the things that he said.
And he sat behind the desk. He sat behind the desk of George Washington to say it.
That's
bull ball boogery, man.
Yeah. There's so much I could talk about. I mean, I tell you, Vin, you mentioned, and yes, I was in the military. I'm not, claiming any special status or anything like that. I'm just a guy that served in the military. Look, I saw these, and I forget what the name of them are, these marches in Iraq, just thousands of people. And no, Lori, I'm not on Substack right now. Thousands and thousands of people marching down the road, beating their chests, and all the women in their burqas and all this stuff. And in Iraq, the difference is that they're literally beating themselves with, they're flailing themselves with different things and bleeding and all that. And so it's a whole show, a whole thing. Their festival, their celebration.
Oh, it's satanic.
It was the weirdest thing to see in Iraq. Can you imagine how freaked out I feel about seeing it in the United States?
Brother, I'm just like,
you know what I
myself right now.
Yeah, you know what I never saw in Iraq or Afghanistan? People just, whether it's one or two or thousands, laying their prayer rugs down in the middle of the street and just blocking off streets and having a prayer session. Yet you see that in American cities. I mean, we're here to celebrate 250 years, and that's fine and good. And I think that's great that people do that. But I wonder what the majority of people out there are really celebrating. Are they just happy that they got a weekend off? Are they just happy that they're going to have a barbecue and, you know, shoot off some fireworks and just have a good old time being stupid and having fun out in the sun and the water? What are you actually celebrating? Because I don't see it in our society. I don't see it reflected in how people vote. You know, look at what's going on in Colorado right now with Victor Marx.
That's crazy, bro.
3 days and they still haven't finished. They got 14,000 votes outstanding. He's leading by a 0.5 percentage point at this point.
Hey, they learned how to do it like California, bro.
Yet all their other elections that Colorado had,
everybody learned from California.
They're all completed. They've all been decided, but not the one with Victor Marx, the guy who stands on the Bible. Prayed for his competitors, for the state, and for what was going on. He didn't talk about himself. He prayed. The one debate that they had, the last one, I think it was. This guy is fighting, and you know, in the primaries, you get less people that go to and vote in primaries. Like I said, what are we celebrating, guys?
What in the world are we celebrating? Because I've seen all these people say, oh, yeah, happy 4th. I'm like, do you know why you're celebrating the 4th of July? Do you have any inkling? Do you have a clue on what you're celebrating?
I don't think people do.
I'm like, what are you celebrating? Why are you saying happy 4th?
I mean, I absolutely believe that we should have a day that we celebrate this. But how many people... I don't know. I don't know what I really can't say. I just say from the way society looks in terms of every day throughout the year, it's kind of like this is just another party. It's not.
Yeah.
It doesn't really mean anything. Now, I get it. If there are those of you out there that have parties and you really do value the freedom that you have, or that you used to have and think you have now. And that's all well and good. I mean, it's one of those things that the shoe fits. But look at the big picture, and the big picture says, even in the polls that they put out once in a while, the majority of people, especially younger people, don't value what they have.
I have family members, I have friends, I have acquaintances that have either died or lost limbs on the front line so that people can celebrate freedom.
Yeah, you know, it's not even about, nobody's telling you have to agree with everything that our leaders have done, or as a country that has happened, and you know, based on the politics and all that other nonsense.
They're all flawed men.
Yeah, but the bottom line is the greater picture says that we were a country that was started, and I'll argue till my death that, you know, this country was started based on and founded on Judeo-Christian values that were inherent in the majority, if not like nearly all the leaders.
Well, remember, the top 3 universities that were started in the country were based on biblical principles: Yale, Harvard,
Princeton.
Yeah.
And now there are cesspools for the liberal-leaning left side of society.
Cesspools for the demonically inspired PDFs.
But you know, Vin, maybe this is a good point for me to read to you what my wife and I have read today from our Bible app that we you know, do get the daily readings. This is the one that's just Bible 365. If you want me to, I can do that.
Yeah.
All right, so 1 Kings 18:21. And Elijah came to all the people and said, quote, how long will you falter between two opinions? If the Lord is God, follow him. But if Baal, follow him. Unquote. But the people answered him not a word. So he goes on to explain here, the people liked their sin. The benefits of following Baal, okay, sexual sin, idolatry, rituals, but they also wanted, at the same time, they wanted God's blessings. Israel was religious, but had too many allegiances. Sound familiar, guys? Does it sound familiar? The people had divided hearts. This allowed them to feel spiritual, but refused to surrender all to God. A divided heart is more dangerous than open rebellion. False gods take everything. Your identity, your family, your wealth, your time, your life, and offer nothing in return. No salvation even. But God, he is faithful and merciful. He calls me back to him. And it continues on. I got just a little bit more here. 1 Kings 18:30. So that part that I just read was commentary. 18:30 says, Elijah said to all the people, quote, come near to me, unquote. So all the people came near to him, and he repaired the altar of the Lord at that time that was broken down. So come to the Lord. Repair what is broken. He will bring fire. He shows up. He loves us and will purify us. 1 Kings 18:39. Now, when all the people saw it, they fell on their faces and they said, quote, the Lord, he is God. The Lord, he is God. What's going on in America right now?
Yeah. Godless society. We're in a godless society. So I'm going to give everybody a history lesson.
Bring it on.
So, does anybody know what Bible was dedicated to the United States of America through Congress?
Uh-oh.
Does anybody know? And I tell you what, the non-inspired version was not invented yet.
Are you asking for, I'll let people in the chat answer before I do, but are you asking for the version?
Yeah, which version?
Okay. Yep. Okay, here we go. Daniel Armstrong says KJV.
Let's see if he's right, because I'm going to push this. Here we go.
Next year, when the Declaration of Independence was issued, and we'll remember that George Washington.
Okay, not that one. Not that one.
Oops.
Not
this
that
is
one.
live.
But we're going to get to that. You know what? I think I'm really trigger happy today. Have you noticed that? I'm like really trigger happy. Yeah. I'm like, I've been pushing buttons fast. All right, here, let's do it.
Well, this is the Bible that came out in 1782. It says, and they, Congress, recommend this edition of the Bible to the inhabitants of the United States. So the first Bible printed in English in America came with the approval, the authorization, the endorsement of Congress. But what's more interesting is Robert Aiken, when he made his petition to Congress on why they should do this, he said, we have a Bible shortage in schools. And then Congress gave an endorsement in the records of Congress. One of the things they agreed to was we needed more Bibles for schools. It was, quote, a neat addition of the Holy Scriptures for the use of schools. Congress not only agreed to approve it, they then endorsed. The reason we have the first Bible in English in America was in part so that we would have it in schools. And I know that there's probably going to be people that would come and testify and say, wait a second, but separation of church and state, you can't have religion in schools. The founding fathers believed in separate institutions, but not secular institutions. The very idea from the Declaration was that there's a God who's given us rights, and government's job is to protect those rights. To pretend like we can't acknowledge God, well, then we're risking losing those God-given rights.
It was the King James 1611 edition.
Yeah, it's really great what he said, all the things that he said there. The fact that Congress gave the Bible.
Yeah.
Did they give the Quran? They gave the Bible.
Daniel, you were correct, brother. It was the King James Bible.
The other thing is that I don't know how people can be so ignorant when it comes to the history of the Pilgrims coming out of Britain.
They were escaping persecution.
What kind of persecution, Vin? Was it racial persecution? Was it economic persecution?
Murder.
Huh?
Murder.
But why? What was it about their faith that was being forced?
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't about anything. There's a lot of peripheral things because all things are connected, but it was about their religion. It was about their freedom of worship.
Mm-hmm.
The Pilgrims. And what do you think continued on? You just showed it. The guy talked about it. They gave the King James Bible from Congress. Why would they do that if they wanted to separate, as we call it today, church and state? Oh, no, it wasn't about.
Uh-oh, we lost Dean. I think he lost power. Hopefully he comes back. That is crazy. Dude, did you throw yourself out?
Apparently. No, I didn't touch anything.
I was like, wait a minute. He was just proving a point here and he's gone.
I was like, what did Vin Dog get mad at me for?
I was like, dude, I was looking around like,
yeah, that was weird. All right, so get back to my point. Evil is good and good is evil, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so look, good is we have a separation of church and state that says the state cannot tell you how to worship.
Mm-hmm.
The state, i.e., the country and your individual state. But we've turned that around, and that's the evil part. Instead of the good part, we chose, or the people chose at one time, that we want church and state to be separate. So you can't have any involvement of religion in the state. Well, I just don't know how these people come up with this logic, because nowhere in the history prior to that ruling or that determination does that actually make any sense, because it's always been the opposite.
That's right. That's right, brother. That's right.
So, yeah, I think it's, that's clearly an attempt by the enemy to break down our society right from the get-go.
Mm-hmm. It sure is. I'm going to play a video clip, but I want you guys, if you have a paper Bible, if you have your Bible, I want you to open up to the book of Acts, chapter 17, and we're going to look at verses 24 to 26. And you'll see why I'm going to those verses after I played this video clip, because I want this to be of importance to people, because I don't know what it is with everybody that wants to put the race card on everything, man. It's just beyond me sometimes.
What
right?
were those numbers again? Acts 24
Acts
through
17, verses 24 to 26.
There you go,
But-
everybody.
Okay, hold on. And then
This year, when the Declaration of Independence was issued, and we'll remember that George Washington ordered that it be read to all of his troops, Lemuel Haynes read the Declaration and was immediately inspired to write an essay. So he chose that famous passage about all men are created equal as a motto or an essay that he entitled Liberty Further Extended. And in that essay, he called for an end to slavery and equal rights for Black Americans. And so through Lemuel Haynes, we can see that, in fact, the civil rights movement effectively began in the founding era.
So check this out. Okay, so our British friend will read the King James Version of Acts 17, verses 24.
God that made the world and all things therein, seeing that he is Lord of heaven and earth, dwelleth not in temples made with hands, neither is worshipped with men's hands as though he needed anything, seeing he giveth to all life and breath and all things, and hath made of one blood all nations of men, for to dwell on all the face of the earth, and hath determined the times before appointed, and the bounds of their habitation.
All right. Did anybody catch what the Apostle Paul just said there? Anybody catch that? Anybody caught that? That was amazing.
There's
Anybody
many
caught
things
that?
in there. There's many things.
Anybody caught the richness of what the Apostle Paul was getting to? Basically, where everybody is one. Everybody is one people.
Yeah.
Everybody is one people. That's why in the Constitution it says all men are created equal in the in the Declaration of Independence, right?
Yeah.
So, what is the boondoggle that's happening? That all of these knockoffs are race baiting people into hating one another, while the people will just get rich at the top.
Yeah, there's an extra thing here that I don't know that people will key in on, but let's think back to who the Barbary Pirates are.
Mm-hmm.
So really, the very people that sold people into slavery are now moving in to take over our country.
Booyah.
So, I mean, and don't get me wrong, there's plenty of blaming to go around. There are bad people everywhere, but as this particular section that was just read points out, made, as Daniel Armstrong pointed out in chat very correctly, made of one blood, all nations of men.
Boom.
So, I mean, we could break it down any way you want.
Mm-hmm.
There's a difference between Vin and I that's not skin deep. Now, he probably shaves every day. I don't. Should I be treated
differently?
wrongly
Absolutely not.
Because of that?
No.
Differences and likes and whatever, that's one thing. Everybody's got something they like different, whatever. But when you start treating people wrongly, or in the way of that Muslims treat people, it's not right. And no, slavery was a bad thing, and I get that.
Yeah. And you know what's crazy? I have to say this out loud. It's funny to me when I see people of a darker complexion loving Islam. I'm like, dude, do you realize that the Muslims owned darker people back then?
And it's not a secret, but again, with a lot of what Islam does, people will believe that, oh, they're peaceful, oh, this and that,
yeah,
oh, they don't do this, they don't do that, and etc. Guys, they are hateful of other races.
Mm-hmm.
And that still occurs today.
Yeah, they hate other people groups.
The only tolerance they're going to give you if you're Muslim, but you're still going to be separate. When they have nobody else to turn against, then they'll turn on you.
Yeah, have you noticed that people, even from the alphabet mafia, they are like, oh, see, the Islamic people, they like us. Yes, they love the fact that you cannot reproduce because you are with a person of the same sex. They love that. Because as you are mutilating yourselves and your children, America,
you're weakening the society.
The Muslims are laughing their way to the bank because they're having more children, which is going to help them have more total power and control of where you live.
Well, Vin, I mean, that's not the way I feel, so you must be wrong. And Daniel Armstrong, you got to stop putting some perfect. You're like reading my mind. You're putting these perfect comments out there. People that say that don't know their history, and that's absolutely correct. I was in school, in high school and stuff. I was not the perfect student. I didn't study. When I did really well, but I didn't really focus on that kind of thing. But I do consider myself a bit of a history buff over the years, and most people that know me know that about me. And I concur 100%, Daniel, that people simply do not know. We don't know our own history, let alone what's going on in other countries and their history. And it's sad because they do know our history.
Yeah. They
do know how to use our laws against us because of where our feelings are going these days.
Wait. Did you just say feelings?
Indeed, I did.
Nothing more than feelings.
Barry Manilow.
Ferry Manilow.
Yeah. Look, yeah, it's emotional. It's emotional damage. The meme that's been around for years.
Yes.
Emotional damage. I've been using that more and more. I've been using that more and more when I share things, along with the willful ignorance, because it's like what I read there from Kings. It's people want the blessing, but they also want to be able to continue in their sinful lifestyle because it makes them feel good.
Yep.
But that's so emblematic of our society today too, right? We'll do something. Most people will do something. They'll have to do something for 30 seconds just because it makes them feel good. To get that fix, whatever it is, you can name 1,000 different things, but they won't do the right thing that takes just about the same amount of time or a little bit longer, and so that they have down the road they have the good things. But they're focused on that sinful act that only makes them feel good. And then the only way they can get that high again is to go do it again. So guess what? You just get in a never ending loop there.
Yeah.
But that's, you see it everywhere.
Yeah, you do. And it's unfortunate, right?
And it is. And don't get me wrong, folks. I'm just as guilty of it as anybody else.
We all are.
But, that was then. This is now. We're always going to be fighting it while we're still in these fleshly bodies. It's a challenge for everybody. But I posted on Facebook. I posted a thing out there of, where I was 10 years ago versus where I am today. Would I even recognize myself? Probably not.
Yep. Yeah, it's wild, man. Just wild. It's beyond me with people that they just don't get it. It just trips me out. I'm like, do you realize you're being invaded right now?
Yeah.
You're being invaded right now.
Yeah, and that's when it I keep thinking back. We talked about at the start about celebrating our 250th year as a free country, and what are we doing with our freedom? We're allowing people to invade us who don't have our values and our best interests at heart.
Yeah.
And that's why I question what people really think about their celebration.
Like, what do you really think about our country? You know what I mean?
Yeah. So
I don't know.
So just a little comment to I want to make this comment because Dixie Gigi 7977, and she's not wrong. Morris Albert wrote the song "Feelings," okay, but Barry Manilow did sing that song, and from our generation, that's where we all know it from. I wouldn't know it from Morris Albert. I know it from Barry Manilow.
I didn't even know it was from Barry Manilow, and I was a radio guy.
Yeah, well, he wasn't the he wasn't the one who officially recorded it. It wasn't his song originally.
It was funny. You know, my mom, she liked Barry Manilow. Like, Mom, why do you like Barry Manilow? He's like kind of fruity. The way he sings.
Yeah, he sang it. I mean, I get it. It's not the original, and that's you're right. So I'm not attacking Dixie.
Hey, that was a great fun fact.
Just thought I'd throw that.
That was a great fun fact about the original.
Because if I hadn't looked it up, I wouldn't have known who Morris Albert was.
Who is Morris Albert?
Well, Morris Albert. Let's see. We can see. I can do that real quick. Who is Morris Albert? Brazilian singer.
Oh,
and that might be the reason why he was around the same time that Barry Manilow sang that song as well.
So now, Barry might have gotten permission from Morris Albert.
Probably.
Morris Albert, yeah. I'm pretty sure Rick Dees knew that.
Yeah. But anyway.
So, hey, did you see? Well, check this out. So I was messaging Rick because he was putting up these videos of people that were visiting our country during the World Cup, which is still going on right now. And they were like, wow, I was wrong about the United States of America. I love this country. You people need to save your country. These are people who are visiting saying this.
Yeah.
They're like, you guys need to save your country, man.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh yeah, as one, it's like, what's wrong with you people?
Yeah, I need to do another episode of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, what is wrong with you people? It's crazy.
And you got people in Washington bending their backs when Queen Charles shows up.
Queen Charles. Why?
That just frosted me, man.
Yeah, I know. I remember. Yeah.
I'm like, are you?
I laughed at that.
I'm like, are you serious, Mike Johnson?
Queen Charles.
Yo, His Majesty. I'm like, dude, for real, bro?
Yeah.
Oh man. Oh, hey, you know what? I just found something. Here it is.
What's that? Oh. Didn't hear it. Oh.
Said, what's wrong with these people? That was you.
Oh, it only it was like the very last word that it came across.
Yeah, that's strange.
You didn't. I couldn't hear it all. But
yeah.
What's wrong with these people?
Oh no! Somebody told me I should do this.
The 11th commandment: Thou shalt be nice.
Yeah,
that's comedy. Oh man, that is comedy. That is comedy.
Yeah.
Oh man. No, but seriously, it was kind of cool seeing people who were visiting as tourists saying, wow, you guys have it really good compared to where I live. I'm like, wow.
I've heard that for years. You have the stereotypes, right?
Mm-hmm.
People think they know Europe. They think they know German society. They know Italians.
Mm-hmm.
They know this or that. Well, the Europeans think the same way about the United States, that they have their popular stereotypes that they have, and then when they finally come here, they're like shocked. Now, those stereotypes still are walking around. This is, there's some validity to some stereotypes. Of course, we have rednecks down in the South. You have hillbillies up north. You have
but they're saying like the way that people live, like in their homes, or the things that they have. They're like, man, we can't even get a quarter of what you guys have where we live.
Oh yeah, I mean, one of the most glaring things is like AC in Europe is pretty rare.
Mm-hmm.
And look at the number of deaths that they've had recently. But everybody
in
here
France, did you see that?
Yeah, it's crazy. Every year that happens. But here, most people have some sort of air conditioning available to them. It may not be the greatest, and depending on your situation, you may or may not actually have it. There are still people that don't, but for the most part, American society, homes, apartments, and stuff are built with air conditioners in them these days. So yeah, but and there are so many other things that we could go into, but the list is long and it's huge of misconceptions. There are some things that I like from Europe that I wish we had in the United States that we don't have. But there are a lot of things.
Please don't say the Eiffel Tower, please.
No, that's definitely not one of them. Actually, I've never personally seen. I've never actually went to Paris, so I have never.
Yeah, I heard they don't take shower. They don't wear deodorant, so I'm good.
Well, and there's a lot of reasons I didn't go, but that. Yeah, but no, but there are a lot of things that are very good about cultures in Europe that you can pick and choose the things. I'll give you a classic one. One of the things we do as Americans is you go in, you eat, you get out, and you want your stuff fast, you want it hot, and you want it cheap. And the restaurants are geared towards turning those tables over. Right.
But in Europe, they take their time and eat and have discussions at the table.
As long as you're buying something like another drink every 30 minutes, that table is yours for the evening. No, they don't care. They don't care how long you're there. As long as you're buying food and, you're paying for the bill. Here in the United States, it's all about the turnover.
Yeah, you notice that? Oh, is there anything else you need? And they'll bring you the check right away when you're almost done with your meal.
Yeah. And of course the comments are roaring. And again, I just want to reiterate, Dixie Girl, or Dixie Gigi, Barry didn't sing it. I've seen him sing it. He did not produce the album. It was, like you said, and I probably knew the actual name, but I haven't thought about that for years, other than the joke about the singing of it. So let's just agree that Barry didn't write the song, and he may have only sang it once in an unofficial capacity at some place. I know I've seen him, but anyway, that's just whatever. And then Daniel Armstrong says, if there are stereotypes, are there also monotypes and quadraphonic types? Intelligent questions like that from you, Daniel, are going to get you banned. Or that's all I can say.
Those are very intelligent questions.
And Mr. Vax too says around 20-25% of all homes in France have AC, and that's still a very low amount.
Yeah, it's a very small number, and and the number's even smaller in the UK.
Yeah, probably. My experience in those places is that, like, when I traveled, I would always look for a hotel that have some sort of air conditioning, but it was even hard to find that. And of course, you're going to pay a lot more for it because it's not the rule. It's the exception.
Exactly. You got that right, brother. You got that right.
Hairy armpits. Gwen Stone said hairy armpits, women and men kept Dean out of France. No.
Hey, Gwen, I'm with you on that one. I just can't. I can't phantom the hairy arms and armpits. I can't phantom that. And plus, they don't wear deodorant. They just spray perfume on and just like. Ah!
I'm not saying that's not true, that those are issues, but I'm saying the reason I did go to France. I went to Disney World in France, and I did not enjoy it.
Did you buy an apple for $10 in France?
No, I don't think that was but the food was horrible, which is kind of funny because you think French food is high cuisine and stuff like that, but most of it was just garbage. Little small community theme parks in Germany had bratwursts and beers that were 1,000 times better than anything I had
let me
in
tell you,
France.
I love the bratwurst. We have a German delicatessen that's about 30 minutes away from where I live.
Yeah.
And it's called George's. I'll promote them because I love the family that runs it. It's a family-run delicatessen. They
Yeah.
have like German and Dutch stuff there, so we go there
Mhm.
and get some good stuff. We get some serve-a-lot. Oh man, you guys,
Absolutely. And that's and the people were just, the whole environment was just not much fun. So we went there, took our kids there and stuff. And
and I heard the French are rude too. So
now I know my wife went with from friends and the kids, they went to Paris and all that.
Paris.
I have no desire to go to. It's a big city anyway. I could care less about it.
I have a desire to go to a fair that has like extreme food, like corn dogs and deep fried Twinkies, a deep fried turkey leg. You know what I'm saying? I'm all about America.
Yeah, well,
It's about
there's nothing wrong with that. It's just the differences, I mean,
Yeah.
I can appreciate, like I said, a lot of things out of Europe, but not everything,
Yeah,
of course. Especially
I'm all about America with my food.
Yeah.
Especially most of the time I like to cook my own food though, because I just don't trust a lot of restaurants anymore.
Yeah, true. But we're on the subject of food, and we're kind of talking about kind of off-topic things in a sense. But really, when you think about it, I'm a European mutt. I have at least 8 different nationalities in my background, at least. Okay, that's America.
If you're born in America, you probably got about 150 different.
Depending. I mean, depending, but depends on when your family came over and how much interaction you've had in different environments and when you were born and all that. It all matters. But my point is I've actually traced all that, like in ancestry. What makes America America? All the different kinds of people, and it really shouldn't matter anymore.
We're people.
Yeah. And like
Rush Limbaugh said on his radio show, what happened to just being Americans? Who cares?
Yeah. So, well, exactly. Why okay, you're from Somalia, and you want to have celebrate your Independence Day. That's great.
Yeah.
Don't do it in the streets of America. I don't really care.
Yeah, we don't
I mean, this is America, and I think it's great. You're proud of your heritage, but we have days and we have celebrations, but it just seems wrong when you're talking like that.
Yeah.
Something wrong about that, because
especially when they say World War 11.
That's a parade of stupidity. That's a whole different thing. It's especially when you don't assimilate to the country. If you're going to move to a country, and you see these people online. I've seen it last night. I was scrolling through, and there was a video. Somebody was saying, "We don't come here to this country for the better pay or the better food or better this." And the person that was responding to the video was just like, "Well, then leave."
Yeah, get out. As a matter of fact, we're gonna stretch. We're gonna take a break, and we're gonna come right back, and we're gonna talk more about American food, and we're gonna celebrate with the reading of the Declaration of Independence, and we have a special treat for you guys at the end. Thank you for listening and watching the 4th of July Eve edition of Vindog Radio
Follow
Live.
us on all of the socials at Vindog Radio. We'll be right back with more Vindog Radio Live after this.
Yes, sir!
Because you have kept my command to persevere, I also will keep you from the hour of trial which shall come upon the whole world, to test those who dwell on the earth. Revelation 3:10. We will be rescued, but what can we do to help the people left behind? What you leave behind matters. The emergency guide is a lifeline for those who will be left behind. It is a guide to salvation meant to replace us and be a companion to the Bible. It's a long way from Genesis to John. The emergency guide was prayerfully created as a labor of love by Calvary Solid Ground. CalvarySolidGround.com/emergency guide. Order a copy or download and print your own. Also, check out our Ready or Not tract, available to print, and it's digital, so scan the QR code and please share it today.
Nevin! Just like Nevin. Yes, Nevin sunglasses are the best, guys. Nevin Eyewear just sent me these. These are the steel blue. Buy some glasses, man. You can buy one and get two free with a special gift. Nevin. Oh yeah, look at my thermometer.
Going to the merch store is another way to support the Vindog Radio Network. VindogRadio.myspreadshop.com. That's VindogRadio.myspreadshop.com. Thank you for your support in advance, and may God bless you. If you felt led to support the broadcast, there are 3 ways that you can help: Cash App, Venmo, or PayPal at Vindog Radio. Thank you for your support, and God bless.
Will you look me in the eye?
Can you look me in the eye and tell me that I shouldn't be alive?
Can you tell me that I didn't deserve to survive?
One reality binds us together.
One event we all share.
One choice tried to steal our lives.
But we survived.
We are the survivors of choice.
We are the faces of choice.
I am the face of choice.
Access granted.
Now, back to the man on a mission for the King of Glory, Jesus Christ. Vindog Radio.
Welcome back to Vindog Radio Live with Brother Dean and myself. We are enjoying the pre-4th of July celebration. Man, I tell you, I ran out and got my package as well, bro.
Uh-oh.
Ran out, got my package. You guys want to see what I have?
Oh, absolutely. Remember, this is a family show.
From the kitchen of Chef Boyardee Rick D's, I got some pecan chocolate clusters.
Oh, nice.
Yum,
Rick
yum.
sent those to you?
No, I bought them off Amazon.
Oh. Yeah, it's still good.
I got
That's
it. I ordered them this morning, and they came on the afternoon.
Awesome.
How fast is that, right?
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So let's get to American cuisine here. Hamburgers, hot dogs, fried chicken, watermelon, fruit bowls, and all that good stuff. So my lovely one made a red, white, and blue fruit tray for tomorrow's gathering that we're going to be at a friend's house. I'm going to take a picture of it before they demolish it.
Definitely.
Yeah, it looks good. Oh man. So, I'm telling you, man, we're celebrating tomorrow. We're just gathering a bunch of believers together and we're celebrating tomorrow. It's going to be exciting. And we do it every year with them for the past, 8-9 years.
Great.
So,
yeah.
Actually, I would prefer to stay home, but
yeah, I think the celebrations, I think the get-togethers and stuff like that those are great things. But for me, celebrating the 4th of July is completely different than it was years ago.
Yeah, I just want to stay home and relax, kick my feet up.
Yeah.
I don't even want to be around people on the 4th of July. I'm just being honest. I know some family members are going to get upset because I said that.
Well, the problem is everything has gotten so, we've been saying this for years, and I remember as a kid they were saying this, but holidays have just gotten, everything's a holiday. I mean, you want to know what day it is? Just ask what national day is this, and somebody knows they're celebrating something. It's just gotten completely out of hand. It's all about the money and the stuff that the activities that's going on, and instead of a reflection on.
You guys don't mind if I try one of these clusters, do you?
I don't. You just got to hand me one. Whoops, wrong way. I got to. Oh, whoa. Shit.
Oh man, those are good. I feel like Rick D's eating on the air.
I don't think anybody really minds.
But yeah.
Well, you got a new follower that said Rita Wilson 811. So I wanted to say welcome, Rita, to the show. She's from Canada, and she said you guys can still afford steaks. I live in Canada, and there's no way you can afford that. I'm sorry to hear that, but
we
things
can't afford them either.
Things are out of control.
Well, as a matter of fact, one more time, let's welcome the new one, Rita Wilson.
Yeah, there you go.
God bless you for being here. God bless you. Man, I love when we get new people coming into the family. It's always nice. Always nice. Yeah. Hopefully you can stick around for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because we have a group of terrific folks that pop in here. Oh, man. So, I hope a family member didn't send me anything. All right. Yeah, they always try to send me something, or can you send money? No, I don't have any. All right.
But Vin, you're famous, dude. Come on.
You're kind of popular. Don't you have a little cash you can spare? No. All right. Dean, you think we should give them the reading of the Declaration of Independence by JFK?
I think that would be an awesome idea.
Yeah, let's do that right now. Let's pull up.
One of the noble and towering documents of human freedom is the Declaration of Independence of the United States. You are about to hear it read by President John F. Kennedy. The Declaration says, "A decent respect for the opinions of mankind required that the rebelling American colonies should set forth to the world their reasons for establishing themselves as free and independent states."
And remember, ladies and gentlemen, all videos are being played in terms
of
the
Continental Congress meeting in Philadelphia.
Remember, all videos are being played in terms of fair use.
Pennsylvania in 1776 appointed a committee of 5 men to decide on the form of the statement. They were John Adams, Thomas Jefferson, Benjamin Franklin, Roger Sherman, and Robert Livingston. Jefferson drafted the actual document. The draft of the Declaration of Independence was presented to the Continental Congress on July 4th, 1776. By the end of that day, the final form was agreed upon. It was adopted. The Declaration of Independence of the United States has met the test of greatness. It has been and remains a source of strength and pride for generations of Americans. And it provides continuing inspiration for all people of the world who treasure freedom. We hear it now as read by John F. Kennedy. The reading was done when Mr. Kennedy was serving as United States Senator from the state of Massachusetts.
You know what, Dean? I wasn't even born yet, bro.
What year was this that he read it again?
When he was a senator.
Yeah. Well, okay then. Yeah. Yeah. He was assassinated prior to my birth. So yeah.
All right. Let's enjoy his reading.
When in the course of human events, it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another, and to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and of nature's God entitle them, a decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to the separation. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed, that whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it, and to institute new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness. Prudence indeed will dictate that governments long established should not be changed for light and transient causes, and accordingly all experience hath shown that mankind are more disposed to suffer, while evils are sufferable, than to right themselves by abolishing the forms to which they are accustomed. But when a long train of abuses and usurpations, pursuing invariably the same object, evinces a design to reduce them under absolute despotism, it is their right, it is their duty, to throw off such government and to provide new gods for their future security. Such has been the patient sufferance of these colonies, and such is now the necessity which constrains them to alter their former systems of government. The history of the present King of Great Britain is a history of repeated injuries and usurpations, all having in direct object the establishment of an absolute tyranny over these states. To prove this, let facts be submitted to a candid world. He has refused his assent to laws, the most wholesome and necessary for the public good. He has forbidden his governors to pass laws of immediate and pressing importance, unless suspended in their operation till his assent should be obtained. And when so suspended, he has utterly neglected to attend to them. He has refused to pass other laws for the accommodation of large districts of people, unless those people would relinquish their right of representation in the legislature, a right inestimable to them and formidable to tyrants only. He has called together legislative bodies at places unusual, uncomfortable, and distant from the depository of their public records, for the sole purpose of fatiguing them into compliance with his measures. He has dissolved representative houses repeatedly for opposing with manly firmness his invasions on the rights of the people. He has refused for a long time, after such dissolutions, to cause others to be elected, whereby the legislative power, incapable of annihilation, have returned to the people at large for their exercise, the state remaining in the meantime exposed to all the dangers of invasion from without and convulsions within. He has endeavored to prevent the population of these states, for that purpose obstructing the laws for naturalization of foreigners, refusing to pass others to encourage their migrations hither, and raising the conditions of new appropriations of land. He has obstructed the administration of justice by refusing his assent to laws for establishing judiciary powers. He has made judges dependent on his will alone for the tenure of their offices and the amounts and payment of their salaries. He has erected a multitude of new offices and sent hither swarms of officers to harass our people and eat out their substance. He has kept among us, in times of peace, standing armies without the consent of our legislatures. He has affected to render the military independent of and superior to the civil power. He has combined with others to subject us to a jurisdiction foreign to our Constitution and unacknowledged by our laws, giving his assent to their acts of pretended legislation for quartering large bodies of armed troops among us, for protecting them by a mock trial from punishment for any murders which they should commit on the inhabitants of these states, for cutting off our trade with all parts of the world, for imposing taxes on us without our consent, for depriving us in many cases of the benefits of trial by jury, for transporting us beyond seas to be tried for pretended offenses, for abolishing the free system of English laws in a neighboring province, establishing therein an arbitrary government, and enlarging its boundaries so as to render it at once an example and fit instrument for introducing the same absolute rule into these colonies, for taking away our charters, abolishing our most valuable laws, and altering fundamentally the forms of our government, for suspending our own legislatures and declaring themselves invested with power to legislate for us in all cases whatsoever. He has abdicated government here by declaring us out of his protection and waging war against us. He has plundered our seas, ravaged our coasts, burned our towns, and destroyed the lives of our people. He is at this time transporting large armies of foreign mercenaries to complete the work of death, desolation, and tyranny, already begun with circumstances of cruelty and perfidy, scarcely paralleled in the most barbarous ages, and totally unworthy the head of a civilized nation. He has constrained our fellow citizens, taken captive on the high seas, to bear arms against their country, to become the executioners of their friends and brethren, or to fall themselves by their hands. He has excited domestic insurrections among us, and has endeavored to bring on the inhabitants of our frontiers the merciless Indian savages, whose known rule of warfare is an indistinguished destruction of all ages, sexes, and conditions. In every stage of these oppressions, we have petitioned for redress in the most humble terms. Our repeated petitions have been answered only by repeated injury. A prince whose character is thus marked by every act which may define a tyrant is unfit to be the ruler of a free people. Nor have we been wanting in attentions to our British brethren. We have warned them from time to time of attempts by their legislature to extend an unwarrantable jurisdiction over us. We have reminded them of the circumstances of our immigration and settlement here. We have appealed to their native justice and magnanimity, and we have conjured them by the ties of our common kindred to disavow these usurpations, which would inevitably interrupt our connections and correspondence. They too have been deaf to the voice of justice and of consanguinity. We must therefore acquiesce in the necessity which denounces our separation and hold them as we hold the rest of mankind, enemies in war, in peace, friends. We, therefore, the representatives of the United States of America, in General Congress assembled, appealing to the Supreme Judge of the world for the rectitude of our intentions, do in the name and by authority of the good people of these colonies solemnly publish and declare that these united colonies are, and of a right ought to be, free and independent states, that they are absolved from all allegiance to the British Crown, and that all political connection between them and the state of Great Britain is and ought to be totally dissolved, and that as free and independent states, they have full power to levy war, conclude peace, contract alliances, establish commerce, and to do all other acts and things which independent states may of right do. And for the support of this declaration, with a firm reliance on the protection of divine providence, we mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor.
Well, well, well. Wow.
Yeah, indeed.
What saith you, brother? What saith you?
Well, I'm gonna degrade the conversation just a little bit here. You've never really celebrated the 4th of July unless you've heard the following safety brief. Don't add to the population. Don't subtract from the population. Stay out of the hospital, the newspaper, and jail. If you do end up in jail, establish dominance quickly.
Wow.
Those of you that have heard of safety brief, anything like that,
Mhm.
happy 4th of July.
Yeah, stay out of jail. Wow, that was a trip that he read that on the floor.
And ladies and gentlemen, in case you forgot, that was a Democrat reading that. So how far have they fallen?
Mm-hmm.
So that was a Democrat who I might not have agreed with all his views, but he was a veteran and he cared about this country. And he did things for the right reasons, because of the right reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he had his issues. Don't get me wrong. I'm not,
Yeah.
People get so caught up with that. You can't say a good thing about anybody because now all of a sudden you 100% support everything they do.
Which is not true.
No, it's not. So,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
yeah,
I'm
that
like,
was
hey,
great.
man, there's some people that are old school Democrats, but they're still stuck because they don't realize that they've been hijacked already by the DSA.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. The DSA has over 100,000 members.
Wow.
Yeah. And growing. Yeah. That was a Democrat. But you know what? It's funny how that generation, it was funny. They were conservatives.
Yeah, a Democrat from that generation would probably be more Republican than most Republicans these days. So
Mhm. Yeah.
take that for what it's worth.
They actually had traditional values.
I mean, there were some really messed up Democrats, no doubt.
Oh, yeah, there's some radicals everywhere.
The founders of the Ku Klux Klan,
You talking about Nathan Bedford Forrest?
the people that
Mhm.
wanted to keep slavery and voted against removing slavery.
And the Klan loved Margaret Sanger.
Yeah, that's another one. There's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy, man. Crazy how that happens, man.
Yeah.
Those Confederate Democrats, I tell you.
I think there were just as many damn Democrats in the North as there were in the South. So that's just my opinion. I might be wrong.
Of course.
I might be wrong technically, but that's just how I look at it. That's just how I see it.
Yeah, they were nestling and jostling people left and right back then. Oh man, our imperfect country.
Yeah, and again, aside from the stupids that say we didn't come here because your country's better than our whatever. I don't know. Whatever. Why are you here?
Why are you here?
I would still rather live here than any other place I've ever been.
Mm-hmm.
And I like a lot of different places, but not in the entirety, not for the breadth and wealth of what it has to offer, So, yeah.
Trust me, if you go and live in other places or visit, you will realize, man, I appreciate where I live.
Yeah, and I think you have to visit for more than just a week.
Take a month
to really understand. And I think you should have to visit with body armor on and a bottle of water in your hand and a weapon in the other hand, and that's about it for a month at a time, a week at a time, a day at a time, whatever. You should be in that condition, living and sleeping out there without any air conditioning, without any fans, in 120 degree plus temperatures, or maybe let's do a throwback and say 90 degree temperatures with 110% humidity in the jungles of Vietnam, or whatever the case might be. You might. There are still Democrats that have served in those positions, in that way, but you might have a different outlook.
a totally different perspective on everything.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
So
Man, that was pretty cool reading. Though.
Yeah, that was good. That was good.
Mhm.
That was good.
Yeah. I was like, wow. I'm pretty sure they were quiet when they heard him reading that. They were like, is he saying we're all committing treason? That's pretty much what he was saying, probably.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It's the weirdest thing, man. The weirdest thing. Yeah.
You know that image that I sent you, it's not great for sharing or anything, but the comment that was on it was what was important, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it made me think that, 250 years ago, we fought because of things like, the tea when the Boston Tea Party was a defining moment, but, there were all kinds of issues that we were ready to go to blows and put our lives on the line for. And today, it makes you wonder, what exactly do people value?
Mm-hmm. I'm like, do you value your family's future and safety? That is the question. Right?
It most definitely is.
Mm-hmm. Because we don't know when the Lord's going to say that's it.
Yeah.
Everybody says, well, it looks like it's going to be on this date. Okay. Yeah, that date passed already, buddy.
Yeah.
So you keep on putting dates out there. Oh, it's going to be pushed beyond. What?
How many times has that failed so far? I mean, a clock is right twice a day when it's not working, but it has no chance of knowing or even guessing.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I'm like, and I know friends that I have a friend that was watching these channels, and I'm like, stop watching those people.
Yeah,
no wonder why you have some anxiety. You're watching those people.
Yeah, I have people that have sent me a Candace Owen video, and I'm like, dude, why are you watching that idiot? There's nothing good that comes out of their mouths.
It's nothing but poison. It's poison.
I mean,
Poison.
maybe their guest had something good to say, but you have to understand where she's coming from and all the other stuff that's going on. It's just not.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
So
stay away from people like Joel Webbin and Doug Wilson too.
Oh my goodness, that Webbin guy! Grab him by the Webbins and smack the living snot out of him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not advocating violence, but I'm just saying that's the way. I think that just describes of how idiotic the person is, how off base they are, how wrong they are, and they need to be woke up. And whether that's a verbal wake up from the Holy Spirit, slapped against the head, with the Bible verse, whatever. That's just all I'm saying. I'm not actually saying anybody should go out and harm anybody physically. Don't, unless if they're attacking you, defend yourself. But otherwise, that's just nonsense. So don't get the wrong idea. But Pookie just said, blackouts hit New York City as Madami's power grid implodes. Welcome to communism.
Let's do that one more time.
Okay.
Welcome
to
communism.
Yeah, so we'll get it. It's hard to do when you're on a broadcast out of the same section. Anyway, yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Pookie, is that a recent story? Did it just come out today? Did it just happen?
Yeah, and it was so weird because a few days ago he was asking people to, tone down their ACs.
Yeah.
To a certain degree.
78 degrees.
Yeah, what a guy.
I'm sorry, you tell me that I have to turn my AC up to 78 degrees.
Hey, I'm just going to say it out loud. You 8 million people in New York are getting what you deserve for not showing up at the polls.
From your lips to God's ears, right there. That's it right there.
Mm-hmm.
I think that all the time. It's like, oh, you know what? I say that a lot. It's like, this is what you voted for when I share a post. This is what you wanted? This is what you really wanted.
Mm-hmm.
This is what you thought was a good idea.
Mm.
I don't have to argue with you. I'm just asking you a question.
Right?
And if you can be honest about it, and you think this is a good idea. Well, okay, I know your level of stupidity then.
Look, and let me tell you guys, I'm not saying that I'm going to force people to go out there and vote. I'm not saying that.
No.
What you do is between you and the Lord Jesus, right? At the end of the
absolutely.
But as far as I'm concerned, I'm still going to vote because I care about the people of my town. I care about children. I don't want children being mutilated. I don't want women being assaulted by these radical demons.
Yep, absolutely.
You know, I vote because of the protection of the family in my community. It starts on the local level, guys.
Yeah. And, just like I mentioned earlier about Victor Marx and the governor race out in California,
You mean Colorado?
Or I'm sorry, Colorado.
Which is on fire right now.
Yeah. The basic idea is how many people live in the state of Colorado? Just a guess. Anybody? I don't know what it is. I don't know what the number is.
What's
I would
population
imagine
of Colorado? Anybody?
I would imagine that it's more than 1.5 million. On the Democrat side, 900,000 and some people voted. On the Republican side, just barely over 500,000 people voted in the primary. And that's a snapshot of every community in the United States practically. Because I would bet you there are more than 1.5 million people living in Denver alone.
You know what the problem is too is when the Republicans do get the seats, they don't do anything.
Well, yeah,
they sit on their hands.
Yeah.
And I think that's a problem.
And look, everybody hear me clearly. I think it's perfectly okay for Vindog to say what he's saying, right? I'm not debating that at all. It is a problem when people are not doing what they've been elected to do. Absolutely. But you know what? Our part, we have to, let me put it to you this way. When a Muslim community starts growing in a city in the United States, they get to 5%, they might start having some influence. They get that 5 to 10% range. They start voting as blocks. If the person that gets elected isn't doing what they think they want them to do based on their community, guess what happens?
They get them out.
They let them know that if you don't support our community, we're going to vote for somebody else. So people, because of corruption and low values, lack of integrity, and all this other stuff, they don't want to leave office. So they do what the Muslim community wants. As the Muslim community grows, it doesn't have to get to 50%. It only has to get to 20%. And all of a sudden they can control every single Plano, Texas, Dearborn, Hamtramck, Michigan, Patterson, New Jersey, Minnesota, in Minneapolis, you name, there's places all over the place that are doing that. Plano, Texas is another good one. It's a big one.
And what's crazy about the state of Texas? Greg Abbott is a crooked crumb, man.
I see what you're saying, and I can't honestly, I can't say I know for sure one way or the other, but it certainly looks like he is.
Oh, and he takes money from the World Economic Forum too,
and I think that's been proven out there too as well.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to question that now. Why? I don't know. I'm not defending him. I'm just saying
I'll never defend that idiot. He locked down his state. Just like California.
Yeah, but the thing is my point about the Islamic voting bloc is, where the hell are the rest of the people? Where are the Americans who truly want to let you want to be Islam, you want to be a Muslim, you want to do your thing. Don't try to force me to change. You came to this country.
Assimilate here, buddy.
Do your thing. Do it over there. Do it
in the privacy of your own home.
But don't come in trying to force and change things for everybody else to conform to your way. That's not the way it's supposed to work. But we, as a culture, as a society, however you want to define it, when only 1.5 million people vote in a primary for governor,
that's crazy.
That's the problem. That's the problem in a nutshell. That speaks to values of our society that people don't get involved. Now I get it. Not everybody votes every time, and if you don't have a candidate, and that's your business. You decide not to vote. But you're telling me that the majority of people are not voting because there's not a perfectly Christian candidate with the perfect morals and values?
We're not voting for a preacher, guys.
No, and I mean, even so, the question is where does that preacher stand on all those issues? Is he going to be perfect? I don't know any preachers that are perfect, any pastors, preachers, whatever. But the point is if we're, everybody, I'm celebrating the 4th of July. Okay, I know a bunch of people are going to go, yeah, I voted. So what are you trying to say? No, I'm not talking about you if you voted. I'm asking the people that didn't vote that if they're going to be honest about it, because the polls simply reflect the truth. It's data. Even on a real important election, it ain't, more than 60% of the people that are voting that are eligible voters. So what are you telling me? That's all. No matter how you cut this, and no matter what the numbers are and what your position is on this, at some point in time, we have lost the common sense that says if you want something to change, you need to go out and participate. Now, everybody's level is different.
Yeah.
But the numbers show just point blank, people are not doing
their due diligence. I had a teacher in 3rd grade. Mind you, she was a Democrat, but she voted for Ronald Reagan. Check that out, right?
Hey.
And I remember when she filled out her ballot when she was sitting there with us, and she said something that it resonated with me right this day. She goes, if you don't vote, she goes, I don't care what party you're in. If you don't vote for the candidate that you think that you feel that should be in office, she goes, but if you don't participate, if you don't vote, you don't have, she goes, I'm just going to say it. She goes, you don't have the right to complain if you don't vote. I was like, whoa. Yeah. I was like, whoa. And I thought about that years later. I'm like, man, she's kind of right. Like,
yeah, maybe people are offended because, will be offended because, someone says, well, you don't have the right to complain. What they're really saying is that, it's just like in the Bible, we're told to occupy. We're not supposed to be part of this world. And what that means is not being part of this world doesn't mean we don't go out and buy food, or we don't go out and buy clothes. We don't pay our bills or anything like that. We still are physically living in this world until we either die or the rapture occurs. But occupy is in the sense of what we learn and what we're taught in the Bible. The type of person that you're supposed to be is how you occupy. You still go to work, don't you? You still pay your bills, don't you? You still do all this other stuff. It's not about a person saying, oh, you don't have the right to complain. That's expressing a perception, an emotion. It's an emotional way to say, if you're not part of the problem, or you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. So stop being part of the problem. And that's all I've ever said is that people, if you choose to not vote because you can't, in good conscience with your relationship with God, you can't vote for a particular candidate or whatever. Fine.
That's fine.
I get that. That's your decision. But you can't tell me that that's what 70% of the population of our country is thinking.
What's crazy to me is that people will say, wow, man, you're a Trump hater. I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm just saying it how it is. I call balls and strikes.
Man, that has nothing to do with
I voted for the cannon head, but when he makes stupid moves, I'm gonna say he made a stupid move. I have the right to say that about him.
Yeah, we talked about this before, and I stick to the same thing. You can check it. I'm not said anything different. God raises up leaders. He brings them down. Governments, leaders,
Every
people
president
in
is
charge.
judging on America.
In one way, shape, or form, yeah, absolutely.
Every president.
And have I ever voted thinking that this person was going to fix every single problem and make all perfect? No, absolutely not. Because even in my days prior to being a Christian and being saved, I never thought that was going to be the case. Because world history shows us that that's not the case.
Yeah, no kidding.
We have thousands of years of people messing it up on every. And so these politicians that get into office and they don't do anything, yeah, that's wrong. And we should speak out about that. And we should call a spade, as you'd like to say. I agree with that. And Trump does boneheaded things, and he says things that just are not compatible with what he should be doing. But when
I call him a cannon head because he shoots off at the mouth.
Right. But we have to remember that, yes, it's okay to complain. It's okay to speak your mind about these things. But you also got to keep in mind at the same time, what's happening is going to happen. It's part of God's plan. And the minutia of it, I won't even begin to try to understand why things happen the way they do when there's no reason for somebody saying a certain phrase in the way they did. It's completely idiotic.
Right.
But I would expect no less from Kamala Harris. Actually, I would expect worse from her. Does that make Trump a better choice necessarily? No, not necessarily.
No.
But it's, you got to look at the big picture, make your decision, do what you based on your conscience.
Because I'm going to tell you straight out, I did not vote in 2016.
Yeah, okay.
I did not vote in 2016 because I thought it was a whole boondoggle from the beginning.
Yeah.
Especially, Barack, Saddam Hussein, Obama got 2 terms. I was like, this is a joke. And then, I said, okay. And, in 2020, I voted. And in 2024, I cast my vote. But here's the deal. I know God is using Trump to further his agenda to the New World Order.
That's the key right there. You are aware of the fact that it's God is in control.
Yeah.
And that's the part I think we're missing in the society. And again, we're not. Everybody
Have you noticed he's different when he came back from China?
Yeah, I get people are talking about that, and there's something there, but I don't.
You got to really look and check him out. You're like,
no, I question it. I question it. But what I can't do is say, oh, absolutely, it's this or it's absolutely this, because I've seen there's some weird things out there, people with conspiracies and stuff. And granted, there could be some things going on behind the scenes that changed his approach 100%. That's entirely possible. What it is specifically, I don't know. We can speculate all day long. But let's be clear. When we're speculating, when we're saying, I think, we cannot say I know, because I don't know his heart. I wasn't there in his shorts, thank God. I wasn't there. Thank you. Thank you for laughing at that. I wasn't. I can't read the guy's mind. I can only go based on what you see, and we talk about the fruits of Trump being very questionable, if not all the time,
especially when you're cursing out the prime minister on the phone.
all that is fair game and viable, but I think people get too carried away and they don't rein themselves back in with God's in control.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, we're told not to be naive of it all too. So
yeah. I mean, I've seen people say things about Trump that he's Nebuchadnezzar, that he does
like golden statues.
I think that's, I really, I question the people around him as much as I question what his choices are. Because is there nobody that's got the cojones to stand up to and say, like somebody just put in chat that he's just trying to court the Christian votes, and I agree that he's playing, but that's what politicians do. So I don't expect anything less. I'm aware of it. I'm not like, oh, this guy really cares. No, I don't believe that. But you would think that somebody would have the brains to go, hey, wait a second. You're trying to get this vote over here. That is going to go over really bad.
Mm-hmm.
Because this says what it, this is what it says in the Bible that you said you've like read a couple of times, parts, maybe 3 words, whatever. But hello, don't. You might want to consider not doing that. But please, he is not. In my book, he's not a Christian. I hope that changes. I pray that changes. I don't believe it for a second, but neither was Pharaoh. Well, even though Christians weren't a thing back then, you get my point, right? Pharaoh was not a believer in Yahweh either, and he said it to get out of things, and then he turned around and totally reverted, right? Hardened his heart. I don't see people as anything any different than that. All of us are susceptible, and I'm not defending anybody in this particular manner, but. And I think, like you said it, and other people have said that, I think this is just Trump is just moving us forward faster in a different way because he's not getting the resistance that he would have, that say Kamala Harris might have gotten for all of her way of doing things. But nevertheless, it doesn't matter whether the person read Kings. Even in Kings, the good kings that were in Judah, there were no good kings in Israel. The split.
Oh man, they were terrible.
There were some good kings in Judah, but guess what? Judah still went down the road and got escorted out to a vacation in Babylon.
Yes, and as a matter of fact, guys, we're going through the book of Daniel every Wednesday this month, so just so you know.
Yeah. So my point is that
Nebuchadnezzar is the one that surrendered to the Lord. That was crazy.
Yeah, but let's go back to Nebuchadnezzar. I mean, it would be something. It would be amazing to see Trump out on the lawn of the White House, crawling around on all fours with extremely long hair,
grass.
Long nails, and eating grass. I mean, if you're gonna say he's Nebuchadnezzar, then he's got to fit the mold.
Yeah, he's got to fit the replica.
Because we all fit the mold of a Nebuchadnezzar at times in our lives. I'm sure that in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
So it's just okay. It's like, Iran, Iran's attacking Israel. Ezekiel 38, it's happening. This is the tribulation.
No. But I am going to say this though. Trump is setting it up though.
Oh, no doubt.
When he sold those
F-35
to Turkey.
I'm gonna fight back on that just one little teeny bit, okay? And I know it's semantics, so don't get mad at me. Trump is not. God is.
I know, but
he's being used.
God's using to set it up.
Yeah, just because people will give you crud about saying something like that.
Oh, of course, because they're hey, I'm telling you, there are people out there, man. If you say something bad about Trump, they'll be like, I'm like, whoa, bro.
And then conversely, if you say something good about him, they do the same thing.
Yeah, they'll go reverse layup on you. I'm like, dude, did you just see him give a back kick to Israel?
Yeah. And that again,
it's so weird. Things started happening in this country after he did that.
Yeah,
blood,
true,
fire,
true.
Yeah,
but check this out though. Again, what does the Bible say about what's going to happen?
In Zechariah 12:3, Israel will become
a burdensome stone for all nations. They'll be. I'm not quoting it exact, but the idea is, that burdensome stone. It'll cause drunkenness. There'll be all the nations will come against Israel, whether that's
including America.
Including America. So guess what? Whether it's Trump or it's the next Yahoo that gets into office,
like JD Vance.
Yeah, like JD Vance.
That dude really hates Israel.
I don't trust him. I don't like a lot of his positions and the things that he says, but we don't know if it's going to skip 2 presidents before it kicks in again. Remember, birth pangs come in waves, right? And they pick up with intensity and pick up with shortness between them. So we could have a wave of a couple of presidents that it kind of lessens up. There's still craziness out there, and then all of a sudden that next person comes in and bam.
Yeah,
It's
but what
back
tripped
on
me
like
out,
Donkey
what
Kong.
tripped me out when he uttered the words, "If it weren't for me."
Oh, that was just stupid.
I was like, "Whoa!" I don't want to stand next to him, and that's what my buddy Pastor Sharam said on the show the other day. It was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
"Whoa."
I did catch some of that. That
Yeah.
you know, that was that. It just like the statue thing. That's the most idiotic thing. He's a gregarious, self-absorbed, bombastic individual, all about who he is, and he's winning and all that. And that's, in some respects, okay, great. That's great. I mean, that's what it takes when you're leading a huge organization or whatever. Those are the people that in the world's system, those are the people that are going to be successful. Yeah, I got it. Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Lori, that's the other words I was looking for. Egotistical, narcissistic. Yeah, narcissist. But regardless, it could be the Joe Bidens of the world that actually lead us down the road to destruction. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter. We have to live our lives not according to what Trump or Kamala or Biden or Obama or
any of these guys,
Bush or anybody does. We have to lead our lives according to what we believe the Bible tells us.
Sharing the gospel, guys.
And sharing the gospel, but that's part of believing what the Bible tells us, right? That's one of the things. I get it. I don't disagree with all the complaints and about the things that he's done and so forth. And I get it on the other side of the street too, that people will say, well, this would have never happened, or this happened, he did this good. Okay, I get it. I get all that. The issue should not be about Trump. The issue should be about where we're going as a country. Trump is just a symptom, just like Biden was a symptom. It's
Every
just a
president
different
was a
side of that. It's just a different side of it. Where be
Everyone's like,
careful.
"Oh, Reagan was great." I'm like, "Yeah, but he did the PERP Act, so that was horrible." So.
He had his issues too.
Yeah.
But now, we have a habit of comparing one thing to another, which is why we have things like racism and other things that are in our world that are awful, because somebody's always got to be better than somebody else for some reason. It's never just
We're
good
all on
enough
the same
that
level,
we
as far
are.
as I'm concerned.
Exactly. It's never just good enough that we're all, here just trying to live, and that we all need Jesus in our lives, and we need to remember that and act that way and be that way. But no, we have to fight about who we think. It's kind of like, I forget where it is. If Daniel Armstrong is listening, maybe he'll remember. Maybe you'll remember, Ben. Where Paul is talking about the people fighting over who they were of. They were of Paul. They were of Apollos. They were of Silas.
Yeah.
He's like,
we're of Christ.
We're of Christ. We're of Jesus. I'm glad. He said something to the effect, I'm glad that I didn't baptize more than just one or two or three he named, because it's not about who I baptize, you knuckleheads.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's the same thing today. It's not necessarily about who you voted for. It's about that you're participating and trying to vote, because when we vote, we're sending a message. And if you got 360 million people, I know not 360 million people vote, but I'm just throwing out in the United States. But if 360 million people vote, and every single one of them votes for a different person, what gets accomplished? Nothing. But if we all are voting because of our relationship with Jesus, voting our conscience, praying about it, and even with the imperfect sludge that we have to choose from.
And sometimes when you're thinking about voting your conscience, it's like, okay, sit out this one. That happens. That happens with some people.
Again, I'm gonna say it again because I think it's important. You're absolutely right. Nobody's saying you're a bad person because you didn't vote one time. But the person that says, I'm never going to vote again, I question what your understanding of who you are in Christ is. We're supposed to occupy. We're not supposed to give over to the world, but we're not supposed to try to be like, oh, it doesn't exist. I'm not going to focus. And I know that's not what you're saying. And I want to make sure people hear clearly that if your conscience, I think Paul talks about this with respect to food, Paul or maybe Peter, but if your conscience says don't eat, I think it was Paul, don't eat this because it it
with Paul.
You,
Paul's writings. Yeah.
Then don't eat it. When you eat food, you eat it to God, for God, to glorify God, not just to fill your belly. Now, if you're not voting just to fill your belly, then that's probably the problem. If you're voting your conscience and it's good with God and you're good with that and you prayed about it and you feel that you're in the right place, great. I understand that. But that is not the majority of people in this country.
Yeah.
The majority of people in this country are not voting because they don't care. They get to celebrate a holiday that they could care less if the country is destroyed next year, because right now they're drinking and carrying on and all this other stuff.
As it said in scripture, they'll all drink and carry on and be merry.
Yeah. So, I mean, it really, I just don't see it in the larger picture. I'm not talking about individuals deciding they don't want to vote. I'm talking about the country as a whole. We have abrogated our responsibility, not to this country, but to our God. So,
yep. Obedience to God. That's it. Not to man.
I mean, how many people do you think are really sitting down and praying every day for this country, for our leadership, for the leadership to have a heart for following God, to be like David? David, he was perfect? No.
Heck no.
Not even close. But he is called.
David killed a man just to get a woman.
Right. He is described as a man after God's own heart. How is that possible? Now, that's a rhetorical question. I hope you already know the answer to it. But I'm not talking to you, Vindog. I'm just saying in general, you should ask yourself that question and look at the big picture of the story of David and what that's all about. Why did God continue to bless him? Was it because he made mistakes? Nope. And once he made mistakes, did he just quit even trying to be a man after God's own heart? Fortunately,
he did continue to be a man after
God knew his heart and he knew him, inside, but
knew him better than any other man would know him.
Right. So,
because remember, Nathan was God sent Nathan in there to talk to him.
Right. Yeah. But until we start, if we're not praying about, how many people out there pray for Bibi Netanyahu, the leader of Israel? How many people pray for the Jews? How many people pray for all the wars and stuff to stop? How many people pray for the leaders of all the different countries that they come to know Jesus as their Lord and Savior? How many people?
Do you know that every single country on the planet Earth has a narcissist running it?
Yeah, pretty much. That's the world system and how.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, we have a unique opportunity in this country. You think about it, in communism or kings,
they don't get a choice in communism.
No, you don't get a choice. You don't
get the choice. Your only choice is go get that one piece of bread. You get that one stick of butter a month. I remember reading about communist Russia when I was in junior high school. Yeah. Wow, they had to stand in line and get bread and butter and cheese. I'm like, wow, that's communism.
You know what really is funny about that?
And they talk about free grocery stores in New York City. Shut up.
All my life, I've met people from as far back as I can remember. I've met people who lived in countries like that and got out of those countries through like serious trial, like being shot at or had family members killed in the process or whatever.
Yes, I know people personally myself.
By the way, before people start flipping out, they went through the proper channel to then become U.S. citizens. So it wasn't just that they had to escape the countries that they were being held within because walls back then kept people in, not people out. but I've met people like that, and it's amazing. And every once in a while you see it in social media, but it doesn't get the traction. People don't pay attention to what these folks are saying that came out of countries, like China or North Korea or Iran,
Afghanistan,
or anywhere else that's been like that. And we just, because it doesn't fit how we feel about things.
And those people are here sounding the alarm, and nobody's paying attention to them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you can read history, you can be told about things, but then you don't even listen to the people that have actually experienced it.
Yeah.
So, like I say, you voted for this. Oh, wait a minute. You didn't vote for it. You just on social media and convinced everybody else never to vote for something that made sense. Okay, great. You voted. You allowed a Mondami to get elected.
Mum dummy. Mum dummy.
Yeah. Sorry, Ben.
Or wrong, mum dummy.
Yeah.
That's what Pookie calls him.
So it's really sad that
I even pray for the tyrannical governor of California.
Absolutely. Because why would you wish eternal torment on somebody?
I mean, hey, I've had that thought. I'm not gonna lie.
No, I get it.
Yeah, I've had that thought.
But let me go back to
that's our flesh.
Right. Let me go. And I know you're not like this, but let me go back for everybody out there and say this again. Is that what the Bible tells us to do? I don't think that we're, I mean, yes, there's a point where you have to walk away from people and say, you know what? I've done all I can. It's on you. The blood is on your hands, as Paul said.
Speaking of Gavin Newsom, ladies and gentlemen, I forgot to tell you guys, I am going to be up in the Citrus Heights area at Calvary Solid Ground on the 25th of this month.
Awesome.
Along with Lee Brainerd and Pastor Kurt Reed, hosted by Pastor Jed and the entire Calvary Solid Ground family. And the admission to the conference is, are you guys ready for this? Free!
Awesome.
Free. And I'll be broadcasting live from there that Saturday. But we're going to go up early. Pistol Pete and myself are going to go up early, set up, and enjoy the weekend there.
What day is that? The 25th?
Hey, who knows? If I run into the governor, man, I'm going to pull him to the side and say, look here, brother, I'm going to pray for you because you need the Lord Jesus in your life, dude.
That would be interesting. I would love to see it.
Yeah. How about you need the Lord Jesus, Gavin? You need your family to be saved out of the stuporous.
Well, pray for my house to be sold. There may be a chance that I could make a trip then.
Bum 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 sold.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be awesome. It should be a great time, and that's I'm glad to see that you're doing that. And I will be stunned if Newsom shows up, and two, that you get a chance to actually talk to
that
him.
Would be crazy, right?
Not because
I was trying to get out of
him.
I was trying to get out of going up there because it wasn't feasible, but the Lord provided for that. So
amen.
That was crazy, bro.
That's good. That's
good. God's like, you're not getting out of this one, buddy.
Yeah.
I'm sending you to Sacramento for a reason. Oh boy. But it's gonna be a fun time. Yeah, the reason why I wasn't gonna go because it wasn't feasible, but the Lord provided a way.
There you go.
Crazy, dude. It's just crazy. Crazy how God is still working, guys.
Always.
Mm-hmm.
May not be in our time frame. We may not understand the details surrounding it and why and how it happens and what is going on, but we have to trust in that He will provide.
Yeah. For us Poe folks.
For any of us folks, Poe or not.
Oh man, guys, Dean and I have a treat for you guys to celebrate America 250. You ready for the treat that we have for them, bro?
I'm always ready, Vin.
Oh man, this is a cool treat, and it's going to be a 5 minutes of just, yeah. It's going to be beautiful, and hopefully Major's not in the room.
Well, I've got my earphones on, so nobody's going to hear it but me. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, because I don't want his ears to,
He does pretty good with it, but yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he doesn't. He hasn't freaked out yet. So.
Oh, okay. Good. God bless him.
Yeah.
All right, here we go, guys. This is a gift from Dean and myself to you. All right, so this is a pre-celebration. We'll go full screen for you guys.
Yeah, there you go.
Shh.
Go on.
Nice. Love it. Isn't that cool, Dean? They don't even have to spend money to go to a fireworks display. We're giving it to them right here.
I know, right?
Canada's only 159. Wow. Wow. Oh man, that was great.
I just came across the post, Vindog, that I've seen before, and it's pretty profound. So,
yeah, go ahead.
This is about the post. It's about Venezuela, but it's about showing us, where we've been and where we're going if we don't pay attention. And the celebration, as to your initial question of the show, was, do I think we'll see another one? Well, listen to this. Before the weekend ends and America moves on to the next headline, we need to pause and look at a story. And I'm moving this so I can read it better here.
Okay.
Hold on a second. I'm sorry.
No worries.
So we need to pause and look at a story that matters more than almost any other: the collapse of Venezuela. And it warns us about if the last democratic superpower ever falls the same way. That would be us. Okay? So this didn't happen overnight. It happened step by step over one generation.
Brick by brick.
The next, brick by brick. 1992, Venezuela is the third richest country in the Western Hemisphere, powered by oil and a growing middle class. In 1997, Venezuelans became the second largest buyers of Ford F-150s, a sign of widespread prosperity. In 1998, Hugo Chavez is elected, promising to redistribute wealth and fix inequality. Sound like anybody that you've heard recently that was elected to a major city in the U.S.?
Zohran Mamdani.
Exactly. 2001, the country votes again for socialism. Remember, democracies can vote their way into communism and bankruptcy. The country votes again for socialism, framed as compassion and fairness. 2003, because again, that strikes us in the feels, right? 2003, the government imposes price controls and currency controls. Black market appears, shortages begin. 2004, private healthcare is fully socialized. 2006, inflation rises sharply as massive welfare programs expand without real economic backing. 2007, all higher education becomes free. 2008, key industries, oil services, steel, cement, telecom are nationalized. Production drops almost immediately. 2009, private gun ownership is banned. 2010, the currency is devalued by 50%, crushing savings and accelerating inflation. 2011, oil production begins a steady decline due to mismanagement and lack of investment. 2012, American politicians like Bernie Sanders publicly praise Venezuela's model. Seriously? Can you believe that?
Yep, I believe.
2013, Chavez dies, Nicolas Maduro takes power and tightens state control. 2014, opposition leaders are arrested and silenced.
Hey, sounds like what they're going to do here.
Yeah. GDP in 2015 collapses, hyperinflation begins. 2016, severe food and medical shortages spread nationwide. 2017, the Constitution is suspended. Elections are no longer meaningful. That's the true meaning of elections no longer meaningful. 2018, inflation exceeds 1,000,000%. Maduro wins a widely fraudulent election because back, they determined the year before that elections were no longer meaningful, no constitution. 2019, unarmed civilians are killed by their own government. Remember when you gave your guns away? 2020,
Australia.
Yeah. 2020, more than 8 million people flee the country to escape hunger and repression. 2023, minor economic improvements fail to relieve mass poverty. And didn't they say 10, 15 years before that was going to be a redistribution, an equitable distribution of wealth? Interesting. 2024, disputed elections trigger protests and global isolation. 2026, Maduro is removed by force. As we know, Venezuela is liberated after decades of ruin. The hard truth here is that it took one generation That is a period of 30 years there. One generation to turn one of the richest countries on earth into a nation defined by hunger, fear, mass graves, and mass migration. So this is the history lesson that people are just not paying attention to. You can't vote your way into socialism.
It's being done.
Exactly. But history shows people only escape it through collapse, violence, and foreign intervention. And here's the part that Americans must understand clearly as you celebrate your 4th of July 250th birthday. If this happens in the United States, there will be nobody coming to save us. No outside superpower, no rescue force, no second chance. Because they don't want to see us on top, one. Freedom is fragile. Prosperity is not guaranteed. And once lost, they are brutally hard to recover. Venezuela's people paid the price. America cannot afford to learn this lesson the same way. And that's the post that's there. And I'm telling you that was reposted, by the way, Vindog. Shout out to John Holler. I knew you would like that fact. There you go. John Holler reposted that. I've seen it before. I've seen many people post it. And I'm trying to get back to the screen here where the stream is, and I can't find it.
Wow.
But anyway,
that was a great read.
You know, I'm telling you, it speaks to everything we've been talking about right there. You want to, what do they call it? A case in point, a object lesson, right there. And that's just the most recent one.
Yeah.
History is replete with this.
Yeah, I did a show with Pastor Kurt Reed a couple years ago, and that post just resonated and rang true, because Kurt says if people don't stand up, they're coming to your door.
Yeah,
these people will kick down your doors.
Yep,
and run shop on where you live. If you fold like a weak deck of cards.
Yep.
They are coming to your door. They're coming for your family members. They're coming for your children. They already say it. So what is it going to take? And Pookie said the right thing. It's going to take pain for people to wake up.
Yeah, unfortunately, I would agree with that.
It's going to take pain,
and I'm just praying that we're just not here when that happens.
Yeah, I'm praying that we're boosted up out of here, folks.
Yeah,
right when that happens, because I'm telling you, once the greatest idea created by man, but with the hand of God, is toast, no one's coming to save you. No one.
Exactly.
No one. If they see America has fallen, do you know the rest of the world will celebrate? They're like, oh man, it's about time.
Yep. And it's whether it's fallen through the results of the rapture, or it's fallen through just decay, like the Roman Empire fell apart, or whatever, however you want to look at it, doesn't really matter. You want to know how it's going to end? Read the Bible. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
The exact details we don't have, but we know where the story's going. It's going to happen. So you better get yourself right while you got the time. Celebrate the 4th. Be thankful to those that have sacrificed their lives over the years, over the centuries. Be thankful in your prayers to God for all that He has done for us, even though we have walked away from Him. And I'm talking about the bigger picture here, as we have walked away from Him as a country and a society.
Yep.
We did not, unlike the Jewish people who God made a covenant by Himself with the Jewish people. we made a covenant. Man made a covenant with God, and we walked away from that covenant that we made. That resulted in that Declaration of Independence.
Yep.
And even I think then, you know, even if we have, people are always talking about people are always talking. I just lost my train of thought. Oh my goodness. People are always talking about I can't remember what I was going to say now. It was pertinent. Pookie, you just distracted me completely when Pookie said, I bet the rapture, when the rapture occurs, Cadiz will be transformed lighter than a feather.
I'm going to leave that alone.
Yeah, I leaving
that one alone, dude.
I don't think you're wrong.
I think you're right. That's hilarious.
I'm sure Pastor James would laugh at that too, because it's true.
Yeah,
it's not going to be.
He's probably going to watch this later, and then he's going to text me, Vinny Pookie is hilarious.
I know, right? At first, he's cracking on about the coffins being so light in Khomeini's celebration over there in Iran, and then he pulls that one out, and it just totally destroyed my thought process. Thank you so much, Pookie.
Do you know what song that the Iranian dictators are going to be playing at their funerals?
I don't know. Let's be really weird and say it's Raining Men.
Okay, well. Not only that. Okay, there's a group called the Gap Band, and there's going to be because Israel does this to a lot of funerals, and dictators.
Yeah. Yep.
You dropped the bomb on me, Israel. Oh,
yeah.
man.
Yep.
She dropped a bomb on me. Yeah.
Y'all are just so wrong. And I'm right there with you. I know it. Is there anybody watching anymore?
No, I don't think so. I think we're down to 2 people now.
Oh no, this says 12. It just refreshed. Well, that's on YouTube. I don't know what you're.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on Get. I think Getter is 1,000 still. Oh man, yeah.
Pookie says every time he says PMP, it turns into pimp. So it's always destruction for his bad mind. My bad mind. You know, it doesn't matter what I do. I even, you folks, you all know that I had my name just as my real name there for a couple of weeks, right? Do you know why I changed it? So I was so sick and tired of seeing people spell it wrong. 5 letters, get on the screen. 5 letters, 2 syllables, and y'all still get it wrong. I was like, I got to change it. I'm done. I'm just going to go back to little, and now, the pimp thing's going on with,
it's crazy.
I'm pimping for Jesus if you want to go there. That's probably really wrong in so many ways, but.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Guys, pray for our country.
Yes.
Pray for the peace of Jerusalem.
Yes. Amen.
Just pray for one another too, because I know it's turbulent times right now. Pray for provisions for the broadcast, because there are things that are still hanging in the balance, and it's all good. But God's going to provide. We're going to be good to go. So, until we boom and zoom, happy 4th of July. Happy belated Boxer Day to my Canadian brothers and sisters. Praying for you guys too. Carney's a crazy guy over there, man. He wants to do world order. He even said it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And I'm praying for my brothers and sisters in the UK and the rest of Europe, because you guys are going through some crazy turmoil over there. So, America, wake up. That was a great read. I'm glad John Haller reposted it and Brother Dean read it. I'm telling you, folks, this train is not stopping. It's at warp speed. No pun intended.
Hey, and remember, just for all you folks out there that are military, don't add to the population. Don't take away from the population. don't end up in jail, don't end up in the newspaper, don't end up on TV.
Mm-hmm.
And if you do happen to do any of those things that I just expressed, call Vinny.
Yeah, the guy with no bail money.
Because I ain't coming to get you. You've been warned twice
throughout this broadcast. God bless you guys. We will see you soon. As a matter of fact, Monday. Wow. Already? Don't let the government be your daddy. You are self-governed.
Vindog Radio.